Commence primary ignition.
For Thursday, October 6th, 2022, it's the Serenno Squadcast, the official podcast of the Serenno Squad.
Dancing before the music started.
Can't help myself. Welcome, everyone, to this week's episode of the Squadcast. It's been a minute, but we are back.
When was our last episode?
I was gonna say to call this this week's episode.
I think it was in 2017, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a few years ago. I think it was September, like 10th, like something like that, second week of September.
Okay, that's not too bad.
Or no,
It wasn't.
August. Oh my gosh, yeah.
Wow, that's pretty bad.
Sorry, guys. We've
we're pretty busy. I've been
Yeah.
traveling for work like crazy.
There's traveling, there's working, there's life, but
Yep.
there's all sorts of things. But we're back, and we have a little bit of Legion news. So let's start with that.
Wait, should we introduce ourselves first?
Yeah.
Drew, you know who they are.
Legion news.
Look at our names.
If the name
No,
shows on
they-
Zoom, then you can see it.
They
Well, if
can't
somebody's just listening, they can't see that name.
They cannot see it. You're right in the
They
recordings.
can
But
hear our illustrious voices, and all of our voices are very different.
I
You
will
are
introduce
correct,
us
Evan.
all
They can
now.
hear it.
Here we go. We have Paul.
Yes.
We have Wayne.
Uh-huh.
We have Evan.
Hello.
And I am Gunner. So there you go, Evan. I hope you
And if
feel
you
better.
can't see us, yes, we are all white men.
Yep.
We've definitely got faces for radio.
Yeah, you can probably tell just from our voices. All right. Well, thank you, everybody. And so we're here at the Legion News, and we have a few fun things to talk about, to show you. Let's see if I can get this.
Couple troops.
Yes.
Legion members should definitely have done their census.
Yes, if you are a 501st member, do your census. Gunner, have you done your census?
Nope. I got the email though.
Wow.
All right. So yes, thank you for the friendly reminder. Do your census, 501st members. But look what we have here. We have Evan.
Wow, the glorious return of Kylo Ren. It's been a hot minute since I've worn this costume. This was at the
We're gonna bring him in.
Boy Scouts car
That
wash
is the
fundraiser,
501st Legion.
which was
Legion
last
News.
weekend. It was pretty recent.
Nice.
No, it wasn't last weekend.
Weekend before last.
Yeah, it was the
Yeah.
23rd or 24th.
Yeah, because I was in Wisconsin last weekend. So yep, I got a new belt which fits because the other one was a little snug.
Oh my.
So, and I got my lightsaber back. It works like a charm.
Got it back.
Yeah, it was.
You sent it off,
Yeah,
right?
it's the board stopped working, and I needed a new activation button, so I sent it off.
Gotcha. Very
Yeah,
cool.
I have like more in that lightsaber than I'll ever want to admit.
That's okay. I'm sure it sounded and looked great.
It did. All the kids loved it. When I would light that thing up, I mean, you couldn't really see it because it was bright daylight.
Yeah,
but
I can
man,
tell it's lit up now though.
It is not.
Oh, it's not?
Those are just my blade covers. Yeah.
Oh, it even looks like it's kind of like a little bright, but that's nice.
That's the blade covers. They're pretty great. But yeah,
Magic.
as soon as I would activate that thing, all the kids would come around, and it was great.
Nice. Looks good. What else we got here? Okay, Kylo and a what is that? A bridge crew officer? What is that?
Line officer. That's
Line
my
officer.
wife Heather as the line officer, and we were there. We kind of relieved the troopers who had left because we came a little late. We got a little bit of a late start. Look, you can see my lightsaber reflected in my helmet.
Oh yeah.
He showed up at the perfect time because Chris and I were like, okay, yeah, I think we're done. And as we were walking in, they pulled up like, hey.
Yeah, we ended up being
Starbucks
there.
and engine.
We ended up being there past the ending time, so we were there for probably about an hour and a half. It was perfect.
Nice. Yeah, that worked out really good. You got to,
Yeah.
like you said, relieve one another of duty. So that's awesome. But you don't get to hang out, I guess, it's all long.
Yeah.
But still. You guys look great. Oh, hello. Chris got his droid out there. Man, that thing looks like it could just be an action figure, but it's huge.
It really does.
It's huge. That's y'all's new backdrop, right?
Yes, that's the that. So this is at WivaCon, which was the weekend before. Yes, because it was like the 17th. Yeah, I know what days are.
You sure?
This was WivaCon in Withville. Their first year back after a couple years off. It was small, but that's okay. It's always fun to support them.
Yeah, I like small cons. Small cons are so much fun to go to. Like Big Lick is so much fun, but it gets really overwhelming really fast. Like it's a big convention, and you kind of lose some of that personality. I think with a big
Wayne's
convention.
been to bigger conventions.
Well, yeah,
No, I'm just saying, as far as conventions go, like, yeah, I mean, I don't know, there are smaller conventions, but there are much, much larger conventions.
oh yeah. But regionally, that's the biggest convention by a long shot.
In this area, yeah, Big Lick's the biggest.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
the
next biggest
closest.
would be the one over in Richmond or possibly Tidewater.
The GalaxyCon or
Yeah,
MarsCon?
GalaxyCon, definitely.
Yeah, GalaxyCon is like, yeah, definitely probably dwarfs. They get some pretty big name actors coming out for GalaxyCon.
Yeah, that's big corporately run con though.
Yeah. Do they have more than one GalaxyCon, or is it just the one in Richmond?
No, there's multiples.
Yeah.
They're chain like McDonald's.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah, a convention franchise.
That's basically what they are. I'm pretty sure they used to be Wizard World and then they changed the name or something, or somebody bought somebody.
Hmm.
Was that what it was? Because I haven't heard Wizard World in a while.
Wizard World. I know Wizards of the Coast. That's all.
Wizard World.
Get our producer behind the scenes to Google that and find out what's going on.
Wait, what is it? What do you want? What do you need?
Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
I was looking this. Yeah, I'm not very good
Don't worry about it.
at this.
No.
So I pulled up the
Making silly
two.
jokes.
I made pulled up the two images that
Yeah,
you sent me.
Share them kind of weird.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. So I'm gonna try the best I can here. So
There's
Okay.
C2 again.
This was our table setup at WivaCon. That is Chris and his droid C2.
That guy has a cool shirt on.
oh, that is a cool shirt.
If he's listening, I have to apologize. I can't remember his name.
Very cool.
I brain farted most of this day away from me. No, he was interested in joining, so he kind of hung out at the table and was kind of checking everything out for a while.
Nice.
Oh,
You can cycle through these real quick if you want. There's some con photos.
nice.
You can kind of get an idea. It was smaller, but it was fun.
Oh,
WivaCon's always good people. So
Ninja Turtle, dude.
That reminds me of like the first WivaCon that I went to.
yeah, it's very similar to that.
Oh, is that
See
Eric
you.
Crutchfield?
Paul.
No, that is, again, I'm terrible with names. Vader he transferred into our area. He lives in the area. I think he lives in Withville or that area. He moved to the area from originally New Jersey.
Oh, I don't know if I've met him.
So, and then the biker, do you remember at Big Lick, there was the newer guy, it was like his first troop, and he was in the Stormtrooper Commander?
Yeah.
That's him. He's got
That's
a remnant biker scout.
Oh man, look at that weather. That's gorgeous.
Oh yeah, it's filthy.
Yeah,
It's
got
done
that,
good though.
That
Yeah, it looks really good.
that mud, that clay looks great.
Yeah, I think that's about all the photos in there for us.
Yeah.
It was fun. It was a fun little con. I'm
Nice.
hoping they'd had some problems in the past where they tried to be kind of too big and things got too stretched out and too far apart, but this was all in one area. It was very well contained.
They used to be at the Withville Community College, and they were spread out through like 2 or 3 buildings. And it was just like, navigating between the buildings was kind of weird. You weren't quite sure where we wanted to be, if we wanted to be over here. Like the people were never really, it didn't seem like there was like a central location where everyone would be. So it was hard to kind of walk, like we would just end up walking around and kind of wandering. So it's nice to see that they have it in that new area.
Yeah, they're back in just the original building.
Nice. So that is okay. So that is the original building from several years ago.
Yeah.
Okay, that's why it looked familiar. Because when I went to WibaCon in 2015, and that's where I first saw the 501st, and I got a picture with, I think it was Dustin and Darth Nihilus, and I ended up owning that costume a couple of years later after I joined, and then I sold it. So.
Yeah.
Darth Nihilus, Skeleton Man.
I got to hang out in my
Rest in
pilot
peace.
for a little while.
All right.
He took a picture with Dustin. Oh yes, it will be mine.
One day it will be mine.
Man, I miss Dustin. He needs to come to a troop again.
Those were our recent groups. Fun events.
So we have 2 more this month. Layman Farms on the 27th, which I will unfortunately not be at. I will be in Chicago again, traveling for work.
Lame.
The one for the 29th, though, that is a possibility because that is a Saturday and it's in the afternoon too, which is perfect. Because usually these early morning troops, I have a hard time with. Like if they're honestly, if they're before noon, yikes. But yeah, 29th, 3 to 5 p.m. in Blacksburg sounds pretty great to me.
I know that one just got posted. I haven't seen the details on it yet.
Chris's armor party got posted, and that's
2
weeks from this Saturday.
Oh, I want to be there for that.
22nd.
I'll be hanging out in a couple different airports.
No.
Gunnar, you should come and bring you should come and film some.
Definitely. It'd be a good opportunity.
Yeah, take some clips.
That's a good idea.
Yes.
I don't have anything to work on, but I do have something that I could work on. My the crack in my first order TIE pilot that has been there for going on 3 years really needs to get fixed.
Or we could help Jennifer get her TK just finished.
We could do both, probably.
Yeah, because the crack on yours, we're just going to put something in it and let it sit. So.
Well, I did that before. What I need is I need to reinforce it with fiberglass matting. So I need to if I pick up some of that, I lay it on there, maybe put some super glue, a little bit of super glue in the crack, hold it all together. I mean, you'll never even see it was there. But I just need to pick up some of that fiberglass to reinforce it.
Yes. Make it so.
Yes.
All right. Well, so we got that to look forward to. I guess now we can move on to our top story.
Top story.
Excuse me, that's the wrong franchise.
I think I don't care.
All right. So if you haven't been living under a rock, you know that there's a new Star Wars show.
I'm so excited to talk about it. I love Andor so much so far, and I almost feel like it might be my favorite series next to Mando. And like it's so different than Mando, so it's almost hard to compare the two shows. But I love like the behind the scenes looks that we get at everything, and like how everything is sort of like early rebellion sort of starting to bubble up to the surface, and you get to see these little the starts and fits here and there, and the characters and the I love that it's a little bit like it's like a kind of a slow burn. There's heist stuff in there. There's like elements of political thriller in there, spycraft. I mean, like, I mean, it's got everything. I love it.
Yeah, it's the best thing I can say about it is this is a Star Wars novel made into a show.
Yes. Yeah, it almost feels like I don't know, it gives me like Cold War era thriller feel, like very much.
For
Yeah,
sure.
I think it's just kind of like the
Well, the guy behind it, the main kind of showrunner writer is Tony Gilroy. He wrote several of the Bourne movies.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's starting to make sense now. I remember really liking those. I never saw, there was one I think with Jeremy Renner that I never saw.
Yeah,
But like the
nobody-
original three, yeah, I don't remember it being very good. But the original three I remember were good. And then they remade it, didn't they, or something, or rebooted it?
It was a legacy sequel. They're like, oh, the Jeremy Renner one didn't do good. Quick, drive a dump truck of money up to Matt Damon's house.
I feel like they do that. They kind of did that with Ghostbusters too, but I mean it worked. Not that I've seen it, and I really should. I feel terrible. I have not seen Ghostbusters Afterlife.
It's really good.
How do you
I
see?
know.
Is that Paramount?
Not to completely sidetrack us too much. It is the Force Awakens for Ghostbusters.
Where's
It
it
is-
streaming?
The what?
Is it streaming
That's
anywhere?
what I was saying. Paramount.
Stars.
Stars.
Yes, Stars with a Z.
Nobody's got Stars. What is this? 1999? Come
You
on.
know, hey, you say that, but I guarantee, like, some of your best movie memories were on that Stars TV channel back when you
That's
had cable.
probably true. Yeah, and
You-
Skinamax.
Well, I know Stars was where I first saw Evil Dead 2, and I was like, "What is
Oh,
this?"
Evil Dead 2. Oh my gosh. To get us completely sidetracked, Evil Dead 2, I think, is on my like must-watch list for like movies to watch at Halloween time.
Oh yeah, it's so good.
My
Anyway,
phone, my
Andor.
phone is literally sitting on top of an Evil Dead lunchbox.
We're all
Anyway,
fans here.
Andor.
So Star
Yes.
Trek.
I haven't watched Lower Decks yet.
Back to the
Oh, okay.
Enterprise
I just did actually.
podcast.
No. I watched it this morning.
Andor is really, really good. It's almost too good for Star Wars. Like,
Yeah,
it's setting the
that's
bar too high.
I
Yeah,
feel like though it kind of which is okay. It's got Cassian. Cassian was from Rogue One. Rogue
Yeah.
One was such a different, a departure from your traditional Star Wars, and people loved it. It was super successful, and you were kind of hoping that this would be like that, and it is. It's
really
like
is.
it's different, just like Rogue One was. It's still got that Rogue One feel, which kind of felt different than the rest of the Star Wars movies. And I don't think, there were no shows at that point. So
I think what really gives it that Rogue One feel to me is like the scenes on whatever planet they're on where it's kind of barren and they're in the woods. All I remember is Ferrix from the beginning, but that planet to me, it's like the wide open spaces with like the ships are, that they're big, but they look really small, and it's that sort of sense of scale, I think, that really evokes that Rogue One feel where you just have these massive landscapes. And like when they're on, even the scenes on Coruscant give a Rogue One feel, and like the scenes on Ferrix where everything is just sort of like grimy and dirty, and it just feels very real. Like everything just feels really, really raw and real.
yeah.
Planet is Planet Scotland.
Yes, I was talking. We watched.
And they're
episode
outside for
5.
sure.
We watched episode 5 just this afternoon, and I was like, man, where do they film this? Because like I know that like they definitely, there's a dam there. They're filming on a dam. And yeah, it's either Planet Scotland, Isle of Skye, Iceland, maybe. I don't know, but yeah, definitely somewhere up there.
Yeah, it's really cool. There's I like how they did, I don't know why, maybe you guys have an idea why they did the 3-episode release at once, but I liked it. I thought it was cool. I feel like the fact that those 3 episodes were its own little series, like it was almost like its own little series right there. Well, with that kind of heist where and I'll be honest, I've only seen the first 3. I haven't seen any farther than that. So in my mind, it's like the first 3 episodes perfectly lay out the kind of, Cassian's in trouble. This guy wants to bring him to justice. And then they go on this wild goose chase. And on the last episode, Cassian, basically escapes without even like realizing that there was like a whole heist thing going on. It feels like they were just like doing their thing, and they knew that they were being chased, but like it wasn't it wasn't as important as that. Was he an officer? The guy who didn't listen to his like sergeant and just went off on this
guy.
Yeah.
The corporate security.
He's in so much trouble. Like, and Cassian doesn't even know. Like, he's just like, I'm heading out of here. I'm escaping from these guys. But like that guy has just gotten himself into so much trouble. And it was just, I thought that was a fun ride, those first 3 episodes.
Yeah, that's the first 3 episodes are definitely, they give like they're like a prologue to the whole series. And I especially love the corporate security aspect, because the corporate security is basically on their last legs with the Empire. The Empire, they're left over from the Republic era, I think. And they're on a very short leash with the Empire, and this is basically the last straw, at least for the corporate security in this area. And after that, the Empire comes in and just chucks them out. And so it's really interesting to see sort of this devolution of the destruction of the old era, of the Republic era, of maybe even the Confederacy. There was a lot of like sort of corporate security type stuff when it came to like the CIS, like from the Clone Wars. And it's just really interesting how they're just sort of slowly tearing it apart. And the senators and all that stuff, like we haven't seen a lot with that. We have seen a little bit with Mon Mothma, but like it's just being like subverted and torn apart. And it's just really interesting to see how the Empire is sort of continuing to assert itself in this era, which is like 5 years before. Yeah, it said 5 BBY. Is that right?
Yes.
So this has been, is that 20 years after the beginning of the Empire?
So it's been 14 or 15 years since episode 3.
Okay, yeah. So even after 15 years, they're still, coming into themselves, which I just, it's so interesting to me to see sort of you're not seeing the big bad guy, and you're not seeing the Sith and the Jedi. You're seeing like the bureaucrats behind the scene, especially with those ISB officers, which, I love an ISB officer. Being an ISB officer, I love that aspect. And then the gray uniforms is just really interesting. And it's also interesting. There were gray uniforms in
there was different.
Yeah, like specifically in A New Hope, those uniforms did show up. It's just hard to tell on camera. So I just love it. I love all you're seeing all the cogs in the machine. I think that's another thing that gives it sort of that Rogue One feel, because Rogue One was also that way, where you were just seeing the B team or the C team or whatever. They're doing their things, and they set up the big conflicts behind the scene. But they're not like, the main bad guys or main good guys.
Yeah, and there is a lot of like political commentary in this show.
Oh yeah.
Especially as you get into like episodes 4 and 5, they are straight up saying things that like people are saying right now.
Yeah.
And it's not, I'm guarantee you it's 100% intentional that in the flashbacks, we're seeing they're speaking a language that has elements of Spanish and Portuguese in it.
Yep.
and they're in the jungles and they're using blowguns. And then in episode 4 and 5, when you see this little tiny rebel cell, they're using blasters that look like AK-47s. It's like,
Yeah.
it doesn't get much more on the nose than that.
And it was a good way to explain away Cassian's Mexican Spanish accent.
Oh, that's true. For the Portuguese and all that.
Yeah.
They've retconned a few things. One of them actually was, if you have the Rogue One visual dictionary or whatever the hell it was called, and you go to Cassian's page, it says his birth planet is Fest or Feaster. But in the show, they now explain that, oh yeah, that was a lie they made up to cover his real heritage.
Mhm.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
The only thing that still gets me is like he said that line where he said he's been in the fight since he was 6 years old. So I still wonder what that means, because he was not 6 years old in that flashback.
They're saying he was 9 years old in the flashback, and we don't know what else has happened on that planet. Notice there were no adults.
That's true. Lord of the Flies.
So more has happened on that planet than we know.
Yeah, we need some more stories.
Yeah, like did you mention where they mined on the planet? Like you saw how extensive the mining was.
Yeah.
And he saw that when he was, like you said, 9. So they probably started that years before. So he's probably been seeing it and
But I want to know
pissed for a while.
I want to know what side was strip mining their planet. Was it the Republic? Was it the CIS?
That was, so I've been looking into this because it's been nagging at me because I'm this kind of a nerd that I have to have a timeline. So the flashbacks are pre-Clone Wars.
Yeah.
So the symbol that you see on the scientists that are turning yellow, which I want to know more about that. That ship that crashed, that is apparently they were part of a group that would eventually become part of the Separatists. But this is before the war starts. So they're still technically the Republic.
Okay, that makes sense. I thought maybe it was like early Clone Wars, or like I don't remember exactly the timeline for when the planet started separating from the Republic.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff. There's so much unknowns right now. Like, the series is definitely ripe for the picking.
Yeah, I gotta catch up.
What's funny is, as you're watching the show, just in the back of your head, think Rebels season 1 is happening at the same time on the other side of the galaxy.
Really?
Yeah, I guess it is. Man, I haven't watched Rebels in forever. I really need to rewatch it because there's so much good stuff in there.
Really do.
I think Heather would enjoy it too.
Yes, Rebels is really good.
Yeah, Clone Wars, I don't know if she would enjoy it. It's definitely more like kind of just action focused. But Rebels is more.
Are you kidding? There's more
I love
political
Clone
stuff
Wars.
in Clone Wars than.
Well,
I feel
there's
like
just
Clone Wars can be a little bit all over the place sometimes.
Yeah, there's so much of it. Rebels definitely seems a lot more focused on like it telling like a specific story. And Clone Wars got that way, I think, sort of in the end, but definitely sort of in the middle where there's just so much going on.
Clone Wars would be perfect for people to start watching if it wasn't so many darn episodes.
I think that's the best reason why you watch it.
It is. But
content.
For a lot of people, it's intimidating. They're like, I'd rather watch Boba Fett. What, they got one season, right? That sounds like fun.
I don't know. I love like me and Heather's new ritual is to like when we sit down and eat dinner, we find a 30-minute show to watch, because an hour-long show is just kind of you're just sitting there.
You're not going to finish it
in front of you. Yeah. So our thing right now is Bob's Burgers, which we're watching through Bob's Burgers. So good.
Have you seen the movie yet?
No, we're kind of going. We're still in like season 7, I think. So we're gonna watch the. I don't think it really matters. We could probably just watch the movie now if we wanted to.
Yep, that's a good way to do it though. Every 30 little short thing and watch the shows.
What do you think of Andor?
I like it so far. I will warn anybody that hasn't watched it. I fell asleep in the first 2 episodes because that's the setup for everything, and it's a little slow. But I cared enough that I backed it up and watched it again. Where I'd fallen asleep to make sure that I was caught up. Once episode 3 hits, it just goes and it doesn't stop, and that's fine. And you have to have those first 2 episodes, but not gonna lie, I did fall asleep.
They're a little shorter though. I think they were only like 30, 35 minutes long the first couple episodes.
I woke up at 8:30, turned it on, and fell back asleep. That's how slow it was.
Yeah.
It is good that they did put the 3 episodes up, because if he just put like episode 1 just kind of ends, we're like, okay. Episode 2 has kind of a little bit more of a cliffhanger on it, but yeah, if they just put 1 or 2 episodes up, I think everybody would be like, what in the heck was that?
They probably watched it through and was like, yeah, this isn't gonna work. We're gonna
Yeah.
It kind of feels like that's how the show's going to be structured, at least for the first season, that we kind of got these 3 episode kind of little mini arcs.
Yeah, I could see that. How many episodes are in the season?
12.
12. What?
That's awesome.
I was expecting 5,
Yeah.
And nowadays it's less and less.
Thank
every
God.
every season that comes out, there's 1 less episode.
Yeah,
There's
I
like
was
8 episodes now for some seasons.
Yeah,
I mean, how much?
Kenobi's was only 6 episodes.
Right, that was painful.
Oh well, Kenobi could have been less, to be honest. I think Kenobi could have been cut into a movie, but that's.
I think it was just right.
Sorry, Paul. I thought it was a little slow.
I think it was just right, but yeah.
Yeah.
Good point. Good point. Yeah, Andor's great. Can't wait. I gotta catch up on it.
You gotta.
Wayne, are you working on on your helmet still?
Yeah, I just don't like what I put the insignia on it. It was too far over to the left, and when I pulled it off, it brought the paint with it.
So you gotta
And I don't know
re-sand it.
and I don't know whether to touch it up with the model paint, which is what I just did, but it's not as smooth as it was there.
Right.
I'm almost thinking I should sand it back down a little bit, hit it with a little bit of spray paint, and then sand that down. That should smooth it out, and then try again.
Can you give us a sneak peek?
Yeah.
And this is why I don't paint my helmets.
Is this the demon gunner helmet?
Yes.
Oh my god.
Where's the insignia at? You already pulled it off?
Yeah, it was right there.
Man, I mean, on
Yeah,
the camera, you
it's
can't
all
tell.
Well, you can, and yeah, it's here. See how far over that is?
Oh, wait, how did you
looked-
put it right there?
It looked right. From where I was sitting, it looked right
Right.
because the way the light was hitting it and all.
It was like an optical illusion.
Yeah, I didn't realize
Okay.
I was to the side of it as much as I was.
You have put so much manpower into that helmet. You could have just like bought a new one.
No, I like that one.
Is that the Walt one?
It's also a different size than normal.
Yes.
So it's kind of unique, right?
No, I don't know.
Because
Made it big enough to fit my melon.
that's true. What's his name?
Jason?
Jason. The one that he has is a little bit smaller than yours.
His stuff is so cool though. He makes AT-AT drivers. And when I see one of his, I'm like, I could do that again, but I'm not going to, because I know why I stopped when I got rid of my AT-AT driver is the way that the hoses are really stiff. They're not like the gas mask hoses on a TIE pilot. They're like super stiff, like conduit. And I couldn't move my head. And it was like, it would give me like a mini panic attack every time I wore it. Cause like, I don't get claustrophobic, but being literally unable to move your head, if you did, it would pop a hose out and then all of a sudden you're scrambling to find this hose and you can't see and you can't move. And it's just like,
it's unnerving.
so I was just like, no, it was fun to wear. It looked really cool, but I had to get rid of it.
You know what you do when you have the urge to wear an AT-AT driver? Buy a TIE pilot.
That is true. Yeah, and honestly, like I think every so often I think about selling my first order type pilot, but then I remember how easy it is to wear and how much fun it is to wear, and I'm like, no, I can't sell it because it's super easy to put on and off. So I don't know. I might get rid of it one day. But
Knowing what I've done to this helmet, I'm this close to getting a shiny flight suit for it.
can you do that?
You're talking about like the
The Rogue One gunner.
I am 100% the Rogue One helmet is different.
Like the Jyn
Hey, look at-
Erso,
wait,
like
what?
flight attendant.
That's different. No.
No.
She's not a gunner.
That's that's a ground crew.
Ground crew.
I'm gonna go
Everything
dark for a second,
different.
but
They have the signal things that's on the back.
Yeah.
The lights.
Just because I know the TIE pilots are completely different, the officers are
I
completely
love that.
different.
I want to do a costume with Hannah where she is a Jyn Erso's disguised ground crew officer, and then I want to do Cassian's olive drab disguise.
Wayne, the gunner from the Mandalorian has the Rogue One shiny jumpsuit.
Oh.
I'm
Wait, what is it
100%
called?
I'm 100% positive there's something different about that helmet. guarantee
Imperial
it.
Gunner, the Mandalorian. It's in the Imperial Gunner Corps. But you know, it's from the Mandalorian, and the Mandalorian they used a lot of stuff rather than making new stuff. So it may be the same. I wonder. I'm gonna pull it up and see if I can look at the helmet side by side and see if it's the same. And see if all the text is the same.
All right, you
Good
tell
enough.
me what I'm looking at here. I'm about to share it. And just
Yeah, all the text is identical. I'm looking at the text for both CRLs. The helmet text and the helmet pictures are identical between the two CRLs.
is this it right here?
Yeah, that's the one that Wayne would want to do. I mean, it is pretty cool. I love the Rogue One style belt boxes too.
So what do you mean shiny suit?
That flight suit is shiny. If you go back up and look at the picture, I don't know if you can tell the
It's
picture of the flight suit
textured
itself,
nylon.
but you see how shiny that flight suit is.
Oh yeah, it looks a little like yeah, it's got lots of like reflective qualities. I can
Yeah,
see
it's like it's shiny material.
It's not the
Ooh.
same material that the original trilogy suits are made out of.
Because I don't mind telling you right now, the next TK I build is going to be a Rogue One TK.
now.
Yeah.
So
I love that look.
oh yeah.
Yeah, my pauldron would be the same. My belt boxes would be the same. The helmet would be the same. Really, the only
Those are
difference is the suit.
probably Rogue One belt boxes, which are smaller.
Yeah, the
Mhm.
Rogue One belt boxes are slightly different. I have a pair that I got for my Krennic, or for my ISB officer. Technically, Krennic doesn't wear them.
And what were you saying, Rogue One, Wayne?
Rogue One TK.
Oh, TK.
Oh yeah,
Rogue One TK is pretty cool.
I
Hard
love
to
every
build.
part of it.
Very hard to build.
They had them there at the Mandalorian display at Celebration, and I got to take close-up pictures all over, and I love every piece of that.
Right there.
They're very they're the design is very well thought out. Like every nook and cranny, every bit of it. Like there's no, like with the original trilogy TKs, you know, they're a little bit off kilter. Everything is a little bit different. It's kind of slapped together. But the Rogue One Stormtrooper is like, it's like that. It's like the idealized version of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, even the back plate there, that what looks to be the 011 whatever, is like the clone. That's a plastic piece that fits inside a hole in the back plate
Yep.
Yeah.
instead of being on one piece.
And I think the cod and the I think that cod piece is separate. It's its own little cod flap that's
Yeah.
not connected to the chest.
Isn't this 3D printed?
Most
The
of them
original
are.
suits were, yes, they were 3D printed.
And
With
the
them
every little
massive
nook and cranny is so just precise, like all the way down the arms. Where on ours it's kind of rounded in the thing. These are like
Yeah.
square, square, square,
Yeah.
square.
Yep.
Yeah, I've got
But
the
every
files
line on
for
it's
this.
sharp. I love the little indentations of the blue line in the helmet instead of just being a sticker.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I printed the helmet and it's like that too.
Yeah, it's just, and then the ab plate goes all the way around and
Mhm.
closes up in the back like the First Order TK.
Yeah, and it's at an angle the way it does it.
Yep. Yeah, because Heather has the what do you call it? The Inferno Squad.
Yeah.
She has that Inferno Squad, and it's like that. It uses the same construction, so it's got that angled cut on the side.
Yeah, but just it looks miserable to wear because you've got that ribbed undersuit and
Wouldn't be any worse than wearing a clone. I don't think anyway.
Is the undersuit ribbed?
yes.
Scroll down. Let's see this undersuit.
Up. You gotta scroll back up.
Oh, scroll up. Let's see this undersuit. Oh gosh, it's the one with the gaskets on it, like the Death Trooper.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
That's not bad. It's just knees and elbows and shoulders and neck.
I
It's basically
mostly,
any of your exposed joints.
yeah, I mostly just think about the cost. I'm sure it would cost so much more to get that than just the the friggin' spandex you buy on Amazon or at Walmart.
Yeah. The
Yes.
neck seal, I think, might be constructed differently. Yeah, it's again, it's looks exactly the same. It's completely different.
Does it have
Yep.
green visors?
All the original trilogy helmets are green.
I have green lenses in mine.
I have green lenses in mind. You have to.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I didn't mean to do that.
TIE pilots you can get away with gray, but
Well. I
Being
guess
fun. Andor good.
Yes.
Andor was great. Andor is still good. We got to finish it up. And we will do another podcast a lot sooner. I think we've been busy, but it's also I've been kind of slacking. So
I'm trying to get back in the studio if Gunnar can get that cable.
Yeah, this is the third time's the charm. Every
we're trying
cable
to-
I've gotten has not worked. The first
Trying
one,
to get the sound or the mixer board to go straight into the Zoom so that it can just be one file instead of having to combine them.
yeah, make things a lot easier. But we bought the first cord, it was too big. We bought the second cord and it was the wrong cord. And then I think we realized what we needed to do. So we're gonna try.
Well, it was the
And I'm
right
frozen.
cord.
How about that?
You are frozen. Yeah, it was the correct cord. It just didn't do what you wanted it to do.
Well, yeah. I was trying to buy the right cord for a port that I don't need to have a cord for. Real smart.
he's trying to buy the right cord, but it must have been the wrong size.
That's right. That's right.
I'm
think I
still
see why
waiting
they
on
What is
painted
that?
it
What is
smooth
that? Dr. Hook?
No, Dr. John.
Dr. John. That's right.
I'm still waiting on some cool Andor costumes to show up. So far, I haven't. Well, they've has a lot of very cool officer costumes.
I'm a little upset now. Yeah, I'm loving the officers, especially that main guy, the main ISB officer. I love him as much as I love Grand Moff Tarkin.
The gray hair guy. Oh God, yes.
Love him. I'm a little pissed off though. In the trailer, we saw clones. I haven't seen that yet.
Yeah. 7
Yeah.
more episodes.
We saw.
Oh my
clones,
gosh, that's so
Shore
crazy.
Troopers.
So many episodes.
I've seen. I think some people got screen grabs of the black mud trooper type guys, probably like Imperial officer or Imperial Army type guys. Which I think the guys in the new episode were Imperial Army because they were wearing like fatigues almost. It almost looked like, to me, it looked like what the Mud Troopers wear underneath their armor. So I think that those are Imperial Army. Very interesting.
Well, I hope you didn't get too. I hope you haven't gotten too attached to that lieutenant, because I don't think he's going to be there at the end of the next episode.
I'm thinking like what the little skinny kid who's writing the manifesto. He reminds me of the kid from The Matrix who gets skewered at the end of the movie. He is not gonna. Yeah, Mouse. He's not gonna. I told Heather, I was like, he's not gonna make it.
Yeah.
Gunnar has no idea what we're talking about.
You went and gave him a personality, and now he's got a backstory.
Yeah.
See,
Yeah, it's like on when we used to watch Walking Dead. Every time there was an episode where they had one episode focused on one character, it was like, well, that character's gonna
good
die.
talking
At the end
to
of the
him.
episode. I specifically remember the episode about Tyrese. There was a whole episode about Tyrese, and at the end of the episode, he was gone.
Episode foreshadowing.
Yep.
Oh. Yeah.
There's lots and lots of good stuff, and there's lots and lots. They're not doing the Easter eggs the same way that like Mando did them, where it's like, hey, remember this guy?
Yeah.
You're having to like really work for them.
Oh yeah.
There's little tiny things hidden in the background. In the shop, in the antique shop on Coruscant, there's all kinds of stuff in the background.
Yep. I like the best part probably was Starkiller's helmet.
Yeah, there's Starkiller's helmet. There's it's probably not actually Plo Koon, but there's a Plo Koon face mask. There's a Mandalorian.
Yeah, there's one of theirs. There's a holocron.
I thought
I didn't see that.
Yeah, I did see the Mandalorian armor. Wait, is this where dude was acting like or putting up the front, like it looked like a museum, and he was dressed up all?
Yeah, that's in the 4th episode.
Yeah, I did see
I can't tell if that's the front or if the face that we saw getting Cassian was the front.
That would be weird.
That's true.
The museum is the front, because there's that scene in episode 4 where you see him shifting personalities. He opens that little side pocket in the ship.
Yeah.
He puts on the wig, and he has to put on that different personality. So he spends like a minute kind of readjusting.
That's right. He was even like rehearsing.
Also, let me say, he looks good in that wig. Like
he spent some money on that wig. That is a
wig. That's a good wig.
I was getting some weird Buffalo Bill vibes, but it's still.
I hope someone makes that a meme. That'd be a great meme, like Stellan Skarsgård, Buffalo Bill, putting on the
wig. Goodbye, horses.
Puts the Utapau staff in the basket.
Oh my god.
No, that should be the episode title. Put the Utapau staff in the basket. Maybe not.
No. All right. Well, I guess that does it for our so far. I guess what we've got from Andor.
Your children are well asleep by now. You're welcome.
Right. Speaking of. All right, guys. Well, I think that brings us to the end of the show. Well, it was a good reunion. I feel like it's been so daggone long.
Yeah.
But let me share this right here and outro music. All right. So we will be back sooner than later. Promise.
Yes.
Evan's got a brand new case for his phone. I got a brand new phone with no case. That's a problem. I really need a protector of some sort. I don't know how I've gotten this far.
I broke my case the other day, so I was like, hey, I can 3D print a case. So I printed one to use until I could get another one.
That's a pretty good idea. My printer is on the fritz. I'm actually... Oh, man. I'm going to have to take my printer apart. It's bad. But anyways, if anyone is interested...
all the droid parts you've been printing out.
Yeah.
See your face?
Yeah.
That is the face of disappointment.
Yeah, I'm disappointed too. It's bad. disappointment in myself. But for all of you that are interested in the 501st, maybe want to call us up for an event or anything you got going on, check out 501st.com. The Instagram usually has approvals and photos. It's been a little shy. We didn't have anything to show this week, so hopefully that will get better. We'll see. But you can check out the Garrison Tyrannus Instagram for that. And then obviously you can check us out on YouTube for the Serenno Squadcast. So thank you all for listening and watching, and we'll check you out next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, buddy. Hope you find your
Hope you find your
dad.
dad.
Doo-doo-doo.